Okay, so we will be starting aldehyde and ketones. Now, in aldehyde ketones, we know that if this is the structure and this is the structure, these two structures are there. If H is present, so we call it aldehyde. And if R dash is there, so we call it ketone. Okay, that we already know. One is called aldehyde, one is called ketone. Now, if you look at the hybridization of these carbons, so it is sp2 hybridized. Okay, it is sp2 hybridized. So this bonding is between sp2 orbital of carbon and s orbital of hydrogen. And if you look at this bond, so it is sp2 and sp3, assuming R dash is sp3 hybridized. So this type of bonding is present. Okay, please note this. So since sp2 hybridization is there, so what will be the bond angle? Bond angle is around 120 degree. What bond angle? This theta. Not exactly 120, but approximately it is 120 degree. Again, it will be polar in nature. Polar in nature means dipole moment will not be zero. Okay. And it can form hydrogen bond in protic solvent. In protic solvents. All right. They can form hydrogen bonds in protic solvent like this. If you just think about it, if you have RCO R dash and you throw it in water, so water molecule contains delta plus on hydrogen, and here delta minus is present, so they will make a hydrogen bond. Okay, this is called hydrogen bond. It happens not only just in water, but in any protic solvent. In any protic solvent, oxygen molecule of aldehyde and ketone has tendency to form hydrogen bond with solvent molecule. All right. Okay. Some more points. Now see, their boiling point are higher than alkanes, but lower than alcohol and acids. Their BP will be lower than alcohol and acids. Reason? Alcohol and acid can perform hydrogen bonding. That's the reason. Next. Next. See, HCHO and CH3CHO, they're kind of gases. These are gases. Okay. Okay. Rest are liquid. Rest are liquid. Okay, let me write it properly. Where I am writing. Rest are liquid. Okay. All other aldehydes are liquid. Not just aldehyde, but also ketone. So let me tell you one more thing. C3 to C20. These aldehyde are liquid. All right. C20 above, C20 plus aldehyde they are solid. Up to C30, ketones are liquid. And above C30, ketones are solid. Now, what might be the reason behind this? What might be the reason behind this? Ki why these are solid, why these are liquid? Like, can anyone explain? Ki why up to C20 they are liquid, but after 20 they are aldehyde? Oh, solid. Reason will be as we increase the molecular mass, so van der Waals force of attraction increases. And once van der Waals force of attraction increases, so what really does happen? They try to come very close to each other and they become solid. Okay. Higher member carbonyl are not soluble in water. Means if you have higher member aldehyde or ketone, they will be insoluble in water. Reason? Because their polar part will be very small and their non-polar part will be very large. The non-polar part will not allow your solubility, will not allow your compound to be more soluble in water. Okay. For example, let's say we have ketone of C25 carbon. So that will not be soluble at all. Acetone is somewhat soluble. Acetone means propanone is soluble. Butanone is also somewhat soluble. But if you go higher, so your solubility will decrease. Preparation. Okay, how do we prepare it? Number one, by alkene. By alkene. Now, if you want to prepare aldehyde or ketone by alkene, I told you there is just one simple method. Reductive ozonolysis. Just go for it. I hope you can make the product easily. How do we make it? The product. Catch. Remember? Oh. We cut the double bond like this. And product will be like this. This is first method. Write it down fast, please. All right. Next. If you wish, second, okay, write second method. Second is from alkyne. I will directly write alkyne. You please write the product on your own. I have taught you everything. So just tell me what will be the product in these cases. So I'm telling you three reactions here from alkyne. First is HgSO4 oblique H2SO4. You can simply say H plus H2O. First method is this. Second is HgOAc whole twice in presence of water. Second step will be NaBH4. And last one is B2H6 in presence of THF as a solvent. And what else we can use? We can use H2O2 oblique OH minus. If you don't remember, let me tell you. First one is Marconic of addition of H plus and OH minus. Second one is Marconic of addition of H plus and OH minus. Third one is anti-Marconic of addition of H plus and OH minus. These two Marconic, and this is anti-Marconic. Can you draw the product? You should. We have discussed. Have you made the product?
Yes, sir.
Well, first one, what will be the first one?
Ketone, sir.
Hmm?
RCO.
What?
RCOCH.
Okay. Ketone, yes, correct. Second, second,
Same, sir.
same, very good. Third,
Uh, doing, sir.
hmm? Third is aldehyde. See, in first one, product will be like this. Second one, product will be the same. And the third one, product will be somewhat like this. I hope you remember when you have one carbon attached with two OH, so it loses water. Remember? And it converts into C double bond O like this. Okay. I hope you remember this. Do you remember this or not? So according to that, in first case, I attach 2OH in the middle. In second case, I attach 2OH in the middle. And third case, I attach 2OH in the corner. So that is why product is coming like this. Third, by alcohol. So just write here oxidation by mild oxidizing reagent. Okay. Please write here in the bracket already covered. Haven't we covered this?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So just write it there. Here in oxidation of alcohol directly. Huh. One reagent that we can use that I did not show you is oxidation by HiO4. Yeah, you should write here oxidation of vicinal diols, vicinal diols. Now let's see. If you have something like this, okay. So I wrote here diol, but it is valid for all vicinal alcohol. Vicinal alcohol means OH, OH on adjacent carbon. So let's say if you have all something like this, I should remove this H from here then. Okay. And now if we treat it with, see, HiO4 per iodic acid, or we can also treat it with NaBiO3. Okay. So we can use these two reagent. So if you do so, what really does happen, you get to see this bond cleavage. Which bonds are these? These are the bond of CC bearing OH on them. All right. These are the CC bond, and which CC bond? Which have OH on them. Okay. It gets broken like I did. Okay. So how many bonds you broke for the first carbon? Let's say these are the carbon. I'm giving them number. How many bonds you break for carbon number 1? How many bonds you broke for carbon number 1? Can you see?
One, sir.
Just one. So the remaining valency, the bond which you break, just satisfy the valency by OH. Second carbon you have broken two bonds. So satisfy the valency by 2 OH. Here it will be 2 OH. Okay, let me write in proper manner. like this. What's going on? Something very wrong is going on with my laptop today. Not capable of writing properly. And for third carbon, you broke just one bond. So just attach one OH here, like this. And you know, if there are two OH, so you remove OH or water. So you, what do you get? You just draw it on your own. And again, if you have three OH, then also you remove one water. And if you have two OH, then also you remove one water. Can you tell me what are the products you are getting? Yes. Can you tell me? I'm not going to draw the product. You have to draw on your own.
Sir, aldehyde,
In case,
acid.
in case of first, you are getting aldehyde. That is
Yes,
correct.
sir. Acid,
So first is like this. Correct. Second,
acid,
yes, correct.
aldehydes.
And third one, you are getting aldehyde. Correct. So this is also one of the methods. But since I took 3OH, so that's why I got aldehyde acid also. If I had taken just vicinal diol, I would never get what do we say, acid. We'll always get aldehyde ketones only. Okay, please note this. Written very well. Fourth, no, not okay, fine. Fourth, from alkyl halide, vicinal. Oh, sorry, from gem dihalide. From gem dihalide. Now, what is the meaning of gem dihalide? Gem dihalide is like this. If you treat it with, let's say, NaOH, so what are you going to get? Tell me quickly. Product fast.
Aldehydes.
And here, what will happen? Your both the Cl will be replaced by first of all OH, SN2 mechanism, and then you'll get something like this. Second one also very same thing will happen. Both the OH will be replaced by both the Cl will be replaced by OH, SN2 mechanism, and eventually water will be lost. You'll get this. Please note this as well. Okay. I hope it is clear.
Yes, sir.
Now moving forward. So this is how we prepare. So here we'll mark a star, right? 1 point. We avoid using KOH or NaOH for above reaction as aldehyde and ketones are sensitive towards base. Means our aldehyde and ketones are sensitive towards base. They can react with the base present. Let's say you got aldehyde ketone in the end, and these aldehyde ketone can further react with your base. So that is why we avoid using this. If you wish, you can use just simply water, but in a difficult condition, like you will have to raise the temperature or something like this. But try to avoid water as much as possible. Okay. Or try to avoid, what do we say? Uh, NaOH or KOH as much as you can. Okay. Moving forward. Please note this completely. Okay. Now, next by Grignard reagent. Next is by Grignard reagent. By Grignard reagent. Let's understand. Hmm, treat it with RMGX first. RMGX. Can you make the product? RMGX followed by hydrolysis. Firstly, go for this. Secondly, go for H3O plus. Yes, product. Can you think about the product? Can you think about product? How reaction will start? Any idea? How reaction will start? Let me tell you, RMGX will give us R dash minus. That we already know. It is coming from Grignard. Yes, what it will do? Grignard. Tell me. What Grignard will do?
X will attach with N, sir.
It will attack on N. Grignard will attack on positive or Grignard will attack on negative?
Positive, sir.
So where is the positive present in this molecule?
C, sir.
C. So R minus is going to attack here. So what we are going to get? We are going to get something like this. Oh, just a second. Oh, sorry. Here and here R dash. All right. And on the nitrogen, you will see that minus is coming. And here, if you want, you can write MgX plus. Okay. Now, there will be no further attack of Grignard on this carbon. There will be no further attack of Grignard on this carbon. Why? Because your carbon has lost its delta plus now. Because earlier nitrogen was pulling electron. So because nitrogen was pulling electron, so your carbon was having delta plus. Now nitrogen has got negative on it. So nitrogen will stop pulling electron. So once nitrogen will stop pulling electron, there will be no delta plus on the carbon. So no further attack of Grignard. Okay. Okay. We call this structure salt of imine. We call this structure salt of imine. What is imine? Imine has this structure. When you have this thing, we call it imine. We call it imine. So in from imine, you have removed the H. You have removed the H. That's why you are calling it salt of imine. Okay. Now what do we next? Now what do we do next? Just see. The salt of imine, it is treated with H3O plus. Let's see what will happen. First of all, O minus will attack here on H plus. So you are going to get this. Don't stop reaction here. Again treated with H plus H2O. What will happen? Let's see. Nitrogen lone pair will attack on H plus. You'll get R dash, double bond C, N, H, H, and here it will be plus. Here it will be plus. Oh, sorry, what I have done. What I have done. What I have done. Here N, H, H, and here it will be plus. Now what will happen next? Now this nitrogen will break its bond. So once nitrogen break the bond, because nitrogen was holding positive, so nitrogen broke the bond. So you'll get positive here. What will happen now? Water will attack on this positive. As soon as water will attack here, you are going to get this NH2, and here it will be OH, and here it will be plus. Remember, we have taken water also, na? So water will be the nucleophile here. Now I hope you can see that oxygen has made 3 bond. So oxygen will break one of its bond. So this H will be released. This H will be released in form of what? H plus. Now this H plus will be accepted by this NH2. Or if you don't want, you can simply remove this H, no problem. What else we are going to get? We are going to get RC R dash NH2, and here it will be OH. Again the very same process. Again attack of H plus. Once H plus attacks, we are going to get this NH3 plus, and here it will be OH. Then ammonia will leave. One by one, I am writing just a step. Ultimately, I will tell you the summary of this reaction. What really did happen? So oxygen will get positive now. Ammonia will be leaving, and carbon will get positive. Now I hope you understand that carbon lone pair, or carbon can be stabilized by resonance. Resonance by lone pair of oxygen. Like this. This will be the product. Okay. This is the mechanism of conversion of this imine into aldehyde or ketone. Okay. What I actually did, please note this, then I will say what I really did here. What I really did here, let me tell you. Written?
No, sir.
Okay, please write it fast.
Yes, sir.
Done. Now see. How many bonds in the beginning carbon and nitrogen had? In the beginning, how many bonds were there between carbon and nitrogen? In the beginning, How many bonds were there between carbon and nitrogen? Can't you see? How many bonds were there between carbon and nitrogen in the beginning?
2, sir.
2. So whenever you find that there is a bond between carbon and nitrogen, there is a bond between carbon and nitrogen, and you put it under hydrolysis, whether it is acidic medium or basic medium. So this bond is broken. Carbon gets OH and nitrogen get H, like this, always. Okay. For example, if I have this, tell me what will be the product. Oh no, don't write here this, just write H here. What will be the product? Product will be RC. You broke 2 bond here because there is double bond, na? So break 2 bonds. Give OH to carbon and give H to hydrogen, like this. Okay. Similarly, you have this. You treat it with H3O plus. So firstly, 2 bonds are broken. Firstly, 2 bonds are broken and you get something like this. See, I'm directly telling you the shortcut. Firstly, you get this. But if you keep reacting with H3O plus, further this bond is also broken. And you get this. R C double bond O OH plus NH3, like this. So if you start reaction from cyanide up to here, it is called partial hydrolysis. And here it is called full hydrolysis. We call it full hydrolysis. So cyanide, if you hydrolyze cyanide, you get acid directly, conversion. Cyanide upon hydrolysis gives you acid. Please note this fast. Let me show you next. See, this was in basic medium. Earlier was in acidic medium. If I treat this in basic medium, what will happen? Same reaction. First of all, you will get this amide, but up to here it will be called partial hydrolysis. How many bonds you broke up to here? Just 2. And then if you further treat it with OH minus H2O, the remaining 1 bond is also broken, but this time you will not get acid. Instead, you will get salt of acid, like this. Please note this. Okay. So this is about cyanide and related. Okay. Give me one more product. Yes, product. Product. Okay. Please write it fast. Done. Done.
Sir, first case toluene, sir.
Huh? First is
Toluene, sir.
no, I'm not understanding. What are you saying? First one is I hope you draw like this. Did you draw like this? First one? Yes. Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, correct. So benzene ring will give you pH minus. That pH minus will attack here on this carbon. And eventually you are going for hydrolysis. So you'll break this bond eventually. And you are going to get CH3C double bond O and this. Please note this. Acetophenone we call it. Next. What will be the sequence here? Sixth. Sixth will be by dry distillation or pyrolysis of salt of carboxylic acid with bivalent metal. Now we have to take a salt of carboxylic acid with bivalent metal. Bivalent metal like calcium 2 plus, Mg2 plus, Ba2 plus, maybe lead 2 plus, like that. Okay. And product formation will be very easy. Let me show you how. For example, let's say we have this. This is your calcium salt of carboxylic acid. Once you heat it, so something like this happens. Can you think what I'm going to do? What I'm going to remove? Can you tell me? CaCO3. And this R is attached here. This R is attached here. So plus R C double bond O R. Please note this fast. Okay. All right. Let's see. Tell me the product here. Product. You have to make product on your own. Product of this reaction. Also product of this reaction.
Sir.
Yes, first one. Have you made the first one?
Yes, sir.
Very well. What is that?
Methanol, sir.
What? Methanol.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that is correct. Plus CaCO3. Please do.
Carbon.
What?
Ketone, sir. No, sir, no.
Here you have to make the product. Number of products. Number of products. Now here very interesting thing happens. It has been observed that the cross connection will also take place. Cross connection in the sense is something like this. Something like this. Now, as we know that this CSCO3 will be gone and this CSO3 will also be gone. So this CS3 can attack here as well as it can attack here also. It is observed. And similarly, this pH can attack here or this pH can attack here as well. Okay. So what are the products that we are going to get? We are going to get CS3, CO, CS3 plus we are going to get pH, CO, pH plus we are going to get pH, CO, CS3. So we are going to get 3 products in this case. All right. What will be the major product in this reaction? Major product will be this cross one. This will be major. And it is the desired product also. Major is the desired product, but we get some byproduct as well. It's not like we won't get byproduct. So the first and second product, they are byproduct. We don't want them, but we can't stop them from producing. They will be formed. Let me know once you have written. Let me know once you have written.
Yes, sir.
Done. Done.
Yes, sir.
Good. Next, whatever the sequence is, 7th, I believe. Heating of beta keto acid. Heating of beta keto acid. If you have something like this and you heat it. So with respect to this CWH, this position is called alpha and this position is called beta. Now, what is the speciality of this molecule? You are having keto group on the beta position. So it is simply when you heat this molecule, it undergoes decarboxylation. CO2 is gone. Let me show you how CO2 is gone. The structure is somewhat like this. When you start heating it, so CO2 leaves like this. This is now CO2 and here you get minus. Here you get minus. Tell me, is this minus stable or unstable? Please check. Is this minus stable or this minus is unstable? The minus which is appearing on CS2, is it stable or unstable? Please think. Does it has resonance? Yes, it has resonance or not? Do we have resonance here? See, this minus is resonance stabilized. Double bond, single bond, negative. So eventually CO2 is removed and this minus pull this H off. And you get to see this R C double bond O CS3. Please note this. Eighth. Eighth. Now eighth is very important reaction. Rosenmund reduction. It's a named reaction and important one. It's a named reaction and important one. What happens in this reaction? We treat RCOCl with H2 in presence of PD. So if you do so, I told you in aldehyde alcohol formation, you are directly going to get alcohol. You are directly going to get alcohol like this. This will be the product. Okay. But if you use a poisoned catalyst here like PD, BaSO4, oblique BaCO3, oblique carbon, oblique sulfur, quinoline. We call it Lindlar's catalyst. So reaction does not go up to alcohol, but it stops at aldehyde only like this. This is called Rosenmund reaction. Okay. Are you getting this? But if you will not use any PSO4 or BaCO3 or carbon or sulfur or quinoline, you are going to get alcohol directly. You are not going to get aldehyde. It is important named reaction. So many questions are asked in your board examination as well as in your competition also. Okay. Please note this and then I'm moving forward. Product. Product here. Yes. Did you make the product of the first this reaction? What is the product? Product is benzaldehyde plus HCl. But if you will not use BaSO4, you will directly get alcohol. You won't get aldehyde. Okay, next. Now, Stephen reaction, also very important. In the Stephen reaction, we treat our key cyanide with SnCl2 plus HCl. Okay, or H2SnCl4. What they do, they reduce Cn to CHNH like this. So in the first step, we get something like this. Okay, we get something like this. And then what we do, tell me, how can I produce aldehyde ketone from this? Anyone? How can I produce aldehyde ketone by this? Please, anyone?
Hydrolysis.
Hydrolysis, direct hydrolysis. Yes, correct. It is also important reaction. Stephen reaction. But yes, you can't prepare ketone from this. You will always get aldehyde. Stephen reaction can't be used for preparation of ketone. If you want, you can write this. We can't produce ketone here. Can we produce ketone from Rosenmund reduction?
No, sir.
No, we can't produce ketone from Rosenmund also. Please note this. Now the job which was being done by SnCl to HCl, the very similar job can be done by this also. DIBALH, dibyl H. Dibyl H. We call it diisobutyl aluminium hydride. Dibyl H is called diisobutyl aluminium hydride. Structure is somewhat like this. The structure is somewhat like this. Diisobutyl aluminium hydride. It is a reducing agent, does the very same job. Does the very same job. So firstly, we treat it with dibyl H. Secondly, we treat it with H3O plus. Can you draw the product on your own? Very similar to this Stephen reaction. It is not a Stephen reaction, but very similar to Stephen reaction. Or if you want, you can write it as number 10. You can write it as number 10. Can you tell me the product? What will be the product?
RCHO.
Yes, correct. This will be the product. Exactly the same. Not even a single thing is different. Okay. Now, since it is reducing agent, so it can reduce some other compounds also in order to generate aldehyde ketone. Like you can also reduce it with, if you treat it 11th ester, same reaction. If you treat it with dibyl H, so you know what happens? Dibyl H, it will break this bond and it is a reducing agent only, no? So it will give you something like this, HH on both the places. So you get RCHO plus C2H5OH. Please note this as well. Exactly the same reaction as this. Can you see this? First of all, here also you will get this amine. Without getting RCHNS, reaction will not proceed. So C double bond N got converted into CHNH. Similarly, here also very similar thing will happen. Your C single bond O will get converted into CHCOH like this. All right. Clear? Any doubt you can ask immediately. No? Very well. Next, 12th. By dialkyl cadmium or Gilman's reagent. Now dialkyl cadmium is this R2CD and Gilman's reagent is R2CuLi. But the thing is they both give us R minus. They both give us R minus and these R minus is less reactive as compared to Grignard. Why? Because here R is connected to a D group metal. D group metal have very low ionic character as compared to S block metal. That is why the R minus which will be formed, it will not be formed in high amount, so it will be very less reactive. So if you treat this RCOCl with R2CD or RCOOCO dash, which is nothing but your anhydride with R2CD. If you want, you can treat it with Gilman's also, no problem. So what will happen? Let's see. R2CD will give you R minus. R minus will attack here, pi bond will be broken. Okay. So you are going to get RCO minus Cl R. Then this homecoming, remember, C double bond O tries to come back, and Cl being a good leaving group, it will leave. Remember this? You get ketone. Same thing here also. I told you, treat your anhydride like combination of these two. I told you to do so, isn't it? You treat your anhydride with a combination of these two. So what your R minus will do, R minus will simply attach here. So eventually you are going to get this. Please note this. Here you mark a star, write 1 point. If you have treated with Grignard, so Grignard will result in alcohol. Grignard will not stop at ketone. It will further react. It will further react to give you 3-degree alcohol. Grignard will further react to give you 3-degree alcohol. Please note this as well. Okay. Please complete this fast. So by this time, if you got any doubt, you can ask immediately. Otherwise, I will move forward. Next. 13th. This is also important reaction. Garterman Koch reaction. Important one. Now what happens in this reaction? Let's understand. We have benzene ring. We treat our benzene ring with carbon monoxide in presence of H plus. Okay. How reaction will start? Let's understand. Carbon will attack on H plus. What we will get? We will get something like this. Are you getting this? Negative carbon will attack on the H. So eventually you are going to get this. What next? Can anyone guess? What will happen next? What will happen next? Oxygen has made 3 bonds. So oxygen will break one of its bond. So you will get this. And then you have benzene ring. This is your electrophile. Remember? This is your electrophile. And now what electrophile will do? It will simply attack on benzene ring. So you are going to get this product by EAS mechanism. Okay. For better performance of this reaction, please note this reaction. Then I will say what is the actual reagent that we use. We use CO combination with HCl along with AlCl3. Along with AlCl3, and we get benzaldehyde as the product. Please note this. Remember, it is very important, very, very important reaction it is. Let's move to next, 14th. 14th is simply oxidation reaction. If you treat your toluene with MnO2 in presence of H2SO4, but remember, keep the temperature low. Keep the temperature low. So you are going to get benzaldehyde. You are going to get benzaldehyde. Please note this. You are going to get benzaldehyde. It is a simple oxidation reaction. Not important at all. Not important. And let me tell you, it will not be asked. But still, if you find any question, please mark the answer. If you take high temperature here, you will get acid. High temperature, same reagent. You will get acid. pH, COOH. Directly acid. This is 14th. Now 15th is important. Étale reaction. This is important one. Now in Étale reaction, what happens? We treat our toluene with CrO2Cl2. We call it chromyl chloride in presence of CS2. CS2 is just a solvent. So at first, actually two molecules are involved here. And at first, we get something like this: CH, O, Cr, Cl2, OH. Like this. Your 2H will be replaced like this. And then we perform it under hydrolysis. So we get something like this. Important reaction it is. It is important reaction. Please note this as well. And let me tell you, this reaction is asked in the previous examinations also. It's not like this reaction is not, it is named reaction and very, very important. See what happens here, your CrO2, Cl2, it pulls the H from CH3. I hope you understand these H, two H's are gone. Where are those H now? They are with oxygen now. They are with oxygen of chromyl chloride, isn't it? So chromyl chloride pull the H of your, what do we say? It pull the H of your toluene. And this complex is formed, and this complex further reacts to give you what? It gives you indirectly, what do we say? Benzaldehyde. Very important reaction. Very, very important reaction. Okay, please note this. Now, you can say it's sister reaction, 16th. by chromic oxide, CrO3. Now, when you treat this toluene again, sister reaction it is. First of all, we treat it with CrO3. Remember, in presence of acetic anhydride, like this. This is your anhydride. Similar thing we get, exact similar thing. See, 2H again replaced. 2H again replaced, and you are going to get this OCO CS3. And again further, we put it under hydrolysis. So we get CHO. Very similar reaction. Very similar reaction. Please note this. It is not just for toluene. You can use substituted toluene also. If you wish, write, please write here. Both the above reactions are valid for substituted toluene also. So substituted toluene means if suppose you have on para position you have something, on para position you have, let's say, NO2. Okay, NCERT gives this question. So let me ask this. Can you answer it? Product. This question is given in NCERT. So can you answer this? Yes. Similar to ETARD, your CS3 will be oxidized to CHO. Like this. Next. Seventeenth. If I treat this benzene ring with HCN in presence of H plus, what will happen? Let's see. H plus actually comes from HCl. How reaction will start? Nitrogen lone pair will attack on H plus. So we will get HCN plus H. This bond will be broken then. You'll get HC double bond NH, and here it will be plus. Benzene is standing over there. It will attack on this electrophile. This is your electrophile. So what we will get? We will get something like this. And then we treat it with H3O plus, and we eventually get benzaldehyde. To make this reaction more better, we use AlCl3 as a Lewis acid also. We use that as a Lewis acid also. This reaction is called Gatam and aldehyde synthesis. Please note this as well. Please note this fast. 18th. Caterham and aldehyde synthesis is not important. Now I hope you can answer me this question very easily. Yes, product. Name of the product and the reaction. What is the name of reaction? We have used this. We have done this reaction already. Yes, what might be the product? It is Friedel-Crafts reaction. It is Friedel-Crafts acylation. Haven't we done this reaction? Friedel-Crafts acylation. Okay. This is your 18th method of preparation. So there are so many other methods as well, but I will keep discussing them eventually when they will be coming. When they will be coming, like, so we can discuss. Or for example, let's say one more. Let's see, can we make the product? Cl2H nu. What will be the product here? It is free radical mechanism. One of the H from CS3 will be removed. Again, can you make the product? Again, one of the Cl will be replaced and you will get CHCl2. And then do one thing, treat it with water. What will we get? What will we get? Please tell me. Yes. See, this is SN1 reaction. It is SN1 reaction and both the Cl will be replaced by OH. Both the Cl will be replaced by OH and eventually you'll get this CHO. Please note this. Please note this. Very important reaction it is. Why important? Because it is combination of two reaction. First of all, free radical substitution and then nucleophilic substitution. Okay. Complete this. So these are the preparation methods. Okay. These are preparation methods. Okay. So let's stop it here. In the next one, we will discuss the properties. We will discuss the properties. Okay. Chale, till then, stay safe.